What's up, y'all? It's been maybe about 3 months since I put up a vinyl video, so I want to be showing you what I've picked up over that time. And this kind of seems to happen every time. I didn't really feel like I found a whole lot of stuff, but now that I look at it, it's going to be kind of a long video, so I'll just jump into it. First, I'm going to show you, this is the only non-vinyl thing. Picked up the chest box, the Genius Jizzle Liquid Swords CD chest box, which I thought was kind of cool. Album's remastered. It's got the instrumentals, little chess set, a little booklet about it. So that's pretty cool. The rest of these, I'll show you a few 7-inches. I don't have a whole lot of 7-inch records, but these are some I picked up lately. Got Jabee Stephanie, produced by LP. This is kind of cool. It's on orange vinyl with it's kind of like engraved on the back side. It's kind of hard to see it in this video, but it's a single-sided 7-inch produced by LP, and I think the beat's extremely dope on this. He's actually got a video on YouTube, and the guy doesn't seem to be getting any shine really. I mean, I don't know. This song is dope though. Lil Ugly Mane, Doing an Evil Deed Blues, Passion Scepter, and Dirt Mystery. Well, 7-inch. This is probably, it's almost like an 7-inch EP. It's got 3 cuts on it. This is probably the thickest 7-inch I've ever seen. It's pretty cool. Got the little thank you from Lil Ugly Mane. Lil Ugly Mane, if you're not up on him, this dude is dope. He's actually from here in Richmond. I've actually had a chance to meet this dude. He's cool as hell, and his music is incredible. He's kind of on the, some of his earlier stuff is kind of on that early 90s kind of Memphis, almost like a little bit of a 3-6 Mafia sound, but his newer stuff is getting a little bit away from that. Still really dope. Lil Ugly Mane. Picked this one up at Run the Jewels show. It's Blockbuster Night Part 1, 7-inch, signed by Killer Mike and LP. Unfortunately, I was jumping around in the crowd and everything, and the sleeve got a little bit bent up and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. Pretty big fan of LP's work and Killer Mike as well. And these are a couple 12 inches I found pretty cheap that I've been looking for. Some of LP's work. This is Hide Your Face, Ghostface Killer, and LP. The LP remix of this is crazy, really dope. I never hear much about this, but this is probably one of my favorite LP songs. Hide Your Face, off I think Prefuse 73. It was like some kind of project they did with him, but the LP remix is dope. This is the Vapors project. It's Slug and LP. This track is called 33 1/3 RPM revolutions per minute, and this is really dystopian, kind of menacing, slow beat with Slug. Slug's actually the only one that rhymes on this, but this is really crazy. I think it's from 2002. This one doesn't get a lot of shine either, but one of my favorite LP beats. Picked this one up for a pretty good price. It's funky enough. No One Can Do It Better by the DOC. DOC, possibly my favorite lyricist ever. Definitely top 5. When I was really coming up on hip hop, this album, the DOC's album, got played just non-stop. Man, I think I wore my tape out, my first tape out. So definitely, I already had a copy of this, but this one was like almost perfect shape, so I had to pick it up. This is one I picked up off eBay. Some kind of independent or random rap stuff. Says Who on the Deals Nicks, and Owl No. 1 on the B-side. Actually ripped the B-side on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out if you want. The A-side though on the Deals Nicks is really dope. So got a pretty heavy substitution break sample with this really funky loop over it. These guys are pretty cartoony, animated, out of Baltimore, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm sorry, East Orange, New Jersey. Says Who on the Deals Nicks. This one I found, I didn't realize, but apparently this is pretty rare. It's the Goodie Mob Soul Food promo LP. I don't think this one came out on a picture cover, and the promo is kind of hard to find. I think I found this at a flea market for like $1, but double LP. So I really like this album too. It's really good. Speaking of LP and Run the Jewels, got the double vinyl on turquoise wax. the Run the Jewels 2 album. I really wanted to get the 4 LP version of this with the instrumentals, but it was going for 65 bucks as a pre-order, and I was like, man, that's crazy, because I got the first LP with instrumentals for like 30 bucks, and the 4 LP was going for 65. I was like, man, I'll probably just get it at the show. So I slept on it. I did go to the show, and they didn't have any copies of it, so I probably lost my chance to get that, but the LP is really nice. Run the Jewels 2. And I was talking about Lil Ugly Mane. This is the album that is pretty much like his magnum opus. It's Mr. Thug Isolation. The original release of this came out about a year or two ago, and it's going for quite a bit of money now. And I slept at the time and never got it. Actually, I think that's about the time I discovered this guy. And Hundibus, this place out of Italy, just re-released the album in limited quantities. So I had to pick this up, double LP. Crazy dope album. Really, man, the beats are incredible on this. And like I said, man, you know, Memphis, like Memphis rap's not necessarily my thing, but this album is crazy. Some people are calling it like meme rap or like a tribute album. He's just kind of doing his own thing. I guess tribute to Memphis hip hop is probably a better way to put it, but the album is sick. Found this one. Not a huge Eminem fan, but you got the Marshall Mathers LP, double LP. It's the original release. I found it for a really good price. Had to pick it up. This is probably his first 2 albums are really my favorite by Eminem, so I had to add this one to the collection. Another project by LP. We Are All Gonna Burn in Hell Megamix 3. The main reason I had to get this is Driving Down the Block remix. It's a beat LP did for, I think it's Kids in the Hall, and it's probably it's another one of his sickest beats. I think, man, the synth part, like at the chorus, is just, man, so crazy. And trying to think what the other one on this is. Time Won't Tell is also just crazy, man. A lot of good beats on this though. Man, this video is almost like an LP theme video, but this is another one I found recently. Funk Crusher Plus by Company Flow. The original release. Double, I think it is a double LP. The first one on Raucous, one of my favorite albums ever. Just didn't have it on wax. Got a couple copies on CD. I actually got the sampler on cassette even. But I've been looking for this for a while, and I found it at the local store for an awesome price. So really, really, really glad to get that. Here's one I picked up off Discogs. Beatnuts Intoxicated Demons EP. It's got Reign of the Tech on it. Actually, this whole EP is really sick. Probably their best, in my opinion, their best work. This is one I just picked up at a local store. The local store I usually go to. Paul's Boutique by Beastie Boys. The Gatefold original release from '88, or I think maybe it's '89, but I think it's sweet and beautiful condition too. I didn't pay anywhere near market price for it, so I was really glad to get that. Funny story about this, I guess a lot of people know this, but there's so many samples on this album, produced by the Dust Brothers. There's so many samples on this album that when they had to pay the sample clearance, they hardly made any money on this record, even though it sold, I think early on it sold like gold or something like that. They didn't make any money on it at first because they had so many samples to clear. But it's just like kind of like DJ Shadow introducing as far as the revolutionizing the sampling genre, in my opinion, or the sampling game, because there's just it's just like a pastiche of samples, but it's just really, really good album. Here's another one I picked up from the same place. Apparently they got a lot of really good late 80s, early 90s hip hop in. I missed the first round of stuff, but the rest of this is all, well, these next few are ones that I picked up kind of on the second round. Main Source, Live at the Barbecue, and Just Hanging Out, Test Press. This is pretty rare, and I've really just been looking for any version of this 12-inch. I actually kind of was looking for the picture cover version, but they had the Test Press, and this thing seems legit too. This is really rare. Believe it or not, I mean, everybody talks about Live at the Barbecue. It's like one of Nas's first appearances. Just Hanging Out is my joint from this album though, so that's the one that gets more play from me, but it's pretty sweet. Got this one too. Public Enemy, takes a nation of millions to hold us back. This is the promo version. You see, you got the gold promo stamp, and it's white label. I already had the retail version of this. I was looking for a little bit better copy. I didn't even realize this was the promo until after I picked it up, but it's a little bit harder to find. This one's in real nice shape too. So I got that at the local store. You got Artifacts, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. This is the promo version. It's still sealed from 95, 94. They had the picture cover version of the original release like a year or two ago, and I passed it up because I wasn't a huge fan of. I only like a few songs on this, and I was kicking myself for not grabbing it. So I saw this still sealed, and I was pretty happy, so I had to grab it. You got Above the Law, Uncle Sam's Curse. This is one of my favorite Ruthless albums. It's got Black Superman, which is really my favorite cut on this, but the whole album's pretty solid. So this one's pretty rare too, apparently, man. I love the artwork on it. Didn't pay much at all for that. Let me pause this for a sec. Sorry, I had to flip the record. There's another one I got at the same place. KRS-One, Out of Here. Another one I already had, but my copy's pretty beat up, pretty dog-eared. So this one's beautiful shape. Produced by legendary DJ Premier. Another Premier 12-inch Jabee the Damager, Me of the Papes. With the B-side, not on the album, was Me Not the Papes. Another dude I'm a huge fan of, Cool Keith, Dr. Octagon, Blue Flowers, remixes. I like the original version better, but anything Dr. Octagon I gotta pick up, so this is a pretty cool release too. And speaking of the Artifacts, here's another one I picked up. Wrong Side of the Tracks and Flexi with the Tech promo version. I got a few copies of the retail version, but I never get the promo. And Wrong Side of the Tracks is just like my favorite Artifacts cut ever. So I almost pick this every time I see it. It's kind of, I don't know. I should probably give other people a chance to get it, but I love this so much. So now I got a promo version too. Another one I've been looking for that's not super rare, I just haven't found it yet. Do What You Like, Digital Underground. Love the artwork on this 12-inch. And this cut is dope too. The whole Sex Packet album is crazy. This is one of the best kind of like party tracks off this. Here's one I found in the dollar bin at the local store. I'm not really sure why, because they're usually pretty up on what they've got, but it's Fierce with Crab and Come Close on the B-side. Usually you see this one with the red label, and the white label one I think is a little harder to find. I'm not really sure what the story is, but it's a pretty nice cut. I really like the Come Close track on the B-side. So that's Fierce. You got Kamikaze with Spread It and Snakes on Hydra. That was pretty cool. I picked that one up cheap. Nice cuts. Extra Prolific, Like It Should Be, from the Hieroglyphics camp. From I think 92, 93, 94 actually. I think this was Snoop and I'm trying to remember who did the production work on this. I guess Snoop did some of it. Not Snoop Dogg, but SNUPE, Snoop. And this album is really smooth, really laid back, and it's got some really dope cuts on it. I can't believe this thing goes for like hardly anything now. I think you can get this LP for like $7 or $8. Highly recommend it if you're into Hyro. Really smoothed out, kind of Macadocious type of hip hop. Really nice though. Found another copy of this Cenobites LP. This is the remaster version with a couple extra cuts. I think I paid like $2 for this, so I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it doesn't have the sticker cover, but love this album, so I had to get that. You got Natural Elements with They Lied and Negro League Baseball. That one's dope. I grabbed this one on eBay just because I was kind of curious about it. Seems to be kind of rare, but I didn't pay much at all for it. It's Choreo, One Never Knows, and I guess this is on Diamond Head Records. I guess this is something that Sylvia Robinson from Sugar Hill was associated with later on, but this is like some straight thugged out type stuff. You check the video on YouTube, it's actually pretty ill, kind of like that. This is one I found, another one I found in the dollar bins here locally. It's Godfellaz the Mighty Jabee and the God Divine. At first I thought this was kind of maybe it's going to be some Christian hip-hop, which I mean I got no problem with that, but I wasn't really sure what to expect, so I picked it up because it was only $1. This is dope. This is really dope. The B-side on this, the God Divine, is man, I don't know, it's sick. I was looking this up, and apparently I can't find much about these guys. I know they're from Richmond, but I haven't seen where this record's really ever traded hands. I see a bunch of people on Discogs with it on their want list. I've got 3 copies of this actually. My buddy Frank told me he saw a couple copies at a thrift store. I ended up paying $1 a piece for those, so I got 3 copies of this now. It came out in 2000. If you want to, if you're interested in peeping this, or you want a copy, hit me up. Maybe we can work out a trade. But this is dope. Brothers of the Mind, produced by Pal Joey. Got Stop Scheming and Kick Facts from '94. Yeah, I'm not positive, but this is dope. Pal Joey from the BDP camp produced this. Brothers of the Mind. Dark Side, What, and Pretender. Dark Side out of New York, I believe. The local record store had a bunch of random rap, independent stuff. I guess they've been saving it, and they auctioned it. And I bid on a lot of 12 inches. This is the only one I won, though. Got it for a great price. Dark Side. I got a collection of records, another collection of records from a storage unit recently. It was about 500, 600, 700. I didn't really count them, but wasn't anything really rare in there. I did find this though. This is probably the rarest thing I found. So Lum Hostile, Love Is Love, and Let the Gauge Loose. It's 12 inches. It's pretty nice. Seems to be somewhat hard to find. Here's another one that's not really rare, not really super valuable, but to me it's the joint. It's Downtown Science, Big Yellow 12 inch. This is a visit. Is my cut on this. I love that track. This was I think it's Sam Sever and Bosco Money. So kind of like a late 80s, yeah, actually 90, 91 on Sony Def Jam. This is sick. Found this one, Neek the Exotic with Large Professor, Back in Effect, Pump Your Fist, Backs and Necks, Hardcore. This is like almost like an EP, but Large Professor and Neek the Exotic, you can't go wrong. I had not heard this when I got it, but it's pretty cool. Anything Large Professor though, I gotta check out. I found this one on eBay too. True Headz, Hip Hop Headz, Inner Vibe, and True Head Shit. A little story about this. There was a post on Craigslist. Apparently somebody found a bunch of copies of this, and he was selling them. Up to that point, I guess there hadn't been a whole lot of copies in circulation, so it was going for kind of a high amount. And I talked to the guy, and I think he wanted like 20 bucks a copy or something like that. So he was like an hour and a half away. I didn't really feel like making the trip just for that. So I checked eBay, and sure enough, a bunch of people had bought them and were dumping them on eBay. So even though it's a pretty rare 12, I think I paid $9 for this or something like that. So nice. I really like the True Head Shit track on the A side and Inner Vibes on the B side. Inner Vibe on the B side. I rep the True Head Shit to my channel, so check that out. See what you think. You got Street Smarts with Problems and Metal Things. The A side, Problems, is produced by Buck Wild, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and the B side's actually got OC and Pharoah Monch on it, so this is kind of a must-have independent 12. Let's see, I got like 2 more. Yeah, we got Inner Soul, It's the Right Time. I found this in that original storage unit that I put up a video for like months and months ago. Every once in a while I'll go back out there and just go through it again, and last time I found this, I couldn't believe it was in there. I couldn't believe I'd passed it up. This is a really dope independent 12 from like 96, I think. Kind of a positive vibe, and looks like this one's pretty rare. Definitely gonna keep it. Really nice track. Found this one at a thrift store. It's Daru with My Home and Connecticut on the B side. Obviously this dude's out of Connecticut. It's from 97 on Drop Zone Records. So anyway, that's pretty much everything I've picked up. Not everything, but you know, I'm not trying to make this video much longer than about 20 minutes, which it is. So hopefully I'll be putting up something else again soon. And thanks for checking it out. Peace.